Levels good. Levels are good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Yo, yeah, levels is good. I said, levels is good. Levels is good. DG, levels is good. Levels good. Levels good. Levels is level. Can y'all hear me? Levels is good. Hold on, let me check it. There's something interesting happened. Hold on, let me make sure we all right. Yeah, we good. We good. Levels is good. Yo. Levels is good. 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 Levels good. Levels good. Levels good. Yo, DG show. Levels is good. Yo, tonight we talk about the gimmick, the hair, the makeup, the costumes. Now, y'all know as well as I do, a lot of groups have started out that gimmick, whatever the gimmick was. And after a while, they took off all the makeup, put away the costumes, and became them regular selves. If they stood the test of time, not everybody got a chance to. So tonight, we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna talk about those gimmicks and those costumes, the hair, the makeup, the persona, the image. And see what we can find out. So that's how it's going down on the Daily Go Getimism show. Do you understand how it's going down on the Daily Go Getimism show? I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. You're ready. We're ready. What up, JJ? T. Carey, right? What up, Brown Eyes? Yo, Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about those gimmicks tonight. And everything is gonna be all right. We talk about them costumes tonight. And everything is gonna be all right. We talk about the hair and makeup tonight. And everything is gonna be all right. We talk about that persona tonight. And everything is gonna be all right. We talk about those characters tonight. Now, you know, when we start talking about the gimmick, we are talking about a lot of groups. We are talking about a lot of artists. We are talking about a lot of acts, which really lets you know that we are talking about show business. So regardless of how you feel about an artist, or how deeply you can get into their lyrics or their whole aura, you know, because sometimes an artist seems so authentic in what they're doing that you forget that it's a gimmick. Or you think that it's not a gimmick. It's really just them with enhancements. Until that persona wears off or is not selling the kind of records that they wanted to sell, or you find out that it wasn't their idea to be like that in the first place. When in the beginning, it seemed like that was their whole thing. That was their whole being. Look at Nicki Minaj right now. If you saw Nicki Minaj before she became Nicki Minaj, you'll wonder how the hell she became Nicki Minaj. If you saw Nicki Minaj before all of the surgery, before the BBL, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. You know? She got her body done. She became Nicki Minaj. I don't know whether it was her idea or whoever's, but she had already been a trained artist. You know, she went to, New York School of Music and Art. So she knew, she knew how the game went. That doesn't mean that she created her own persona. She may have canvassed people or have been mentored or tutored or, been down with a crew that said, you know what, you should try this. Lil' Kim wasn't Lil' Kim until Biggie made her into Lil' Kim. So I don't think that the rhymes that Lil' Kim was writing were Lil' Kim-esque. Even if you just watch the Biggie movie, the little biopic, corny ass movie that they had. I think it was called Unbelievable. Yeah. He made Lil' Kim Lil' Kim. Like, yo, you got some pretty good rhymes and all of that, but you should do it like this. You could, like, don't no men want to hear that shit that you rapping about, being all hard and all of that. Let me write you some rhymes and give you some ideas. Biggie wasn't Biggie. As much as people hate to hear it, P. Diddy created Biggie. The Biggie that you knew as an artist. He didn't want to do all of that juicy stuff. He didn't want to do the Big Papa shit. The whole hat, dressed. That wasn't the Coogee. He didn't want to do that shit. That's not what he wanted to do at all. It was Gimmick. And had he lived long, who knows how that gimmick would have evolved. Because there was an element of what we believe for himself to be that started to emerge. But I mean, all in all, Biggie was in the industry for 5 years, no longer. So we don't know what he may have become. We have no idea. What up, JJ? What's good? How you feeling? My man Shell Love. What's good? What's good, my dude? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. So we're gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna talk about it because we have artists with the subtle gimmick, and then we have artists with the outright, like ain't no denying this, like acts like Kiss. Remember Kiss? If y'all old enough to remember the group Kiss, with all the crazy demonic, it was a whole lot of monster shit going on back in the 70s, and Kiss was very much a part of that. They figured, shit, we are throwing some platform boots and shoes and paint our faces, clown makeup, but make it look, sort of demonic, devilish. Huh? That's what they did. And they was on fire. Almost made you, they made pretty good songs. But for y'all who remember Kiss, as far as their music was concerned, rate Kiss on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I really liked Kiss as a kid. 6, 7, 8 years old. Detroit Rock City. Beth. Those were my 2 favorite songs by them. But they was kicking up dust. They was killing it. They was killing it in the mid and late 70s. The Dolls and shit. They was made for it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say Kiss was? Absolutely a gimmick. They were a gimmick from beginning to end. But as they got older, that gimmick played out. They took the makeup off. You got to see what they really looked like. Oh, that's what you look like, Gene Simmons. That's what you look like, Ace Frehley. That's what you look like, Peter. What was his name? Peter something. All right. JJ said Lil' Kim was kind of hot being all nasty and shit. Yeah, Biggie made her do that. That's not what she was trying to do. It's not what she was trying to do. She would have been more like MC Lyte. Real shit. She would have been more like MC Lyte. She wasn't a real rapper. She was a girl who could rap. She wasn't a rapper. That was not what she was doing. She didn't have demos. She wasn't out there, being a rapper, trying to boost her career. Biggie was a rapper. Let's see. Oh, good. Alice Cooper. Oh, definitely. I knew he was going to come up. JJ said Kiss had music that was probably at least an 8 out of 10, but they really declined in the 80s. They did. After their gimmick was over, it was like, It's safe to say, well, a lot of rock groups didn't respect Kiss. I remember that. They were like, look at this gimmick shit. Can they really play? I remember other groups scrutinizing that, even as a kid. I was like, how you gonna ask that about Kiss? Kiss is great. Kiss is great. Of course, I'm a 7 or 8 year old kid. Of course I'm gonna think Kiss is great. It's a gimmick. I was caught up in the gimmick. And there was a lot of gimmicks in the gimmicks of the 70s were well defined. They didn't try to hide shit. I think in the 80s and 90s, they tried to, have it more like a keep it real type of thing, even though it's still a gimmick. So we're going to talk about some gimmicks that we may not have identified as being gimmicks. But they were. Well, let's say we're going to question their authenticity. We'll question authenticity, but it is show business and they are acts. They are acts. All right. Peter Chris. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I was like, I know it was Peter something. Peter Chris. Thank you. True gimmicks have have a shelf life. Yeah. JJ says Lil' Kim was a stripper with enough balls to spit rhymes. I mean, if she was a stripper with that body, I mean, she was so thin. She was so small. She was a stripper with clothes on. All right, but all right, whatever. Man. To each his own. G War is absolutely insane and have stuck with their gimmick. G War, wait. Who is G War? Wait a minute. Damn. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are business geniuses. Everything they do is a gimmick. Taking off the makeup was hyped up. It was. They were like, we gonna rebrand this shit. We just gonna repackage. Y'all gonna buy the same shit. Y'all gonna buy the same shit twice. We re-gifting shit. We re-gifting it. That's how we doing it. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. I'm gonna put my drums away and we might as well get into this thing. We gonna rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. Rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. Yeah. Daily Go-Getimism Show. The Gimmick. The hair, the makeup, the costume. The hair, the makeup, costume. The hair, the makeup, the costume. Let's get into it. Get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. So yeah, you know, it's showbiz. And sometimes we get so wrapped up in our favorite artists because, you know, the things that they sing about or the music that they play, we get so emotionally invested that they start to mean more to us than they may even be trying to. But it's all commercial. It's all commercial. One thing that we have to remember is that all of this artistry, all of this music, all of this recording time, all of these records, tapes, and CDs, this is for money, baby. They get money. And if the business doesn't go down, then none of these artists come out. You don't buy records and you'll never see these artists again. You don't come out to the shows, you'll never see them perform again. That's how it works. So whatever they have to do to get and hold your attention, they're going to do. And as long as it keeps working, they're going to keep doing it. But there have been plenty of artists that really rejected the imagery or the gimmick that they were somewhat forced to do. And we can talk about that too. Artists that didn't want to do what they had to do, kid. All right. Hold on. All right. Kim, are you there?
I'm here.
You're here. That's great. That's wonderful. That is stupendous. No, you're here. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing. What up, Carla? Carla! What's going on, man? What's going on? Stacy White. All right, now we got Troy is calling in. Let me make sure that we can cross over. Hold on a second, Kim. Yo, what up, Troy?
You here?
Hold on, let me merge this call. Hopefully it goes smooth. Let's do it. All right, we good. I think I did everything right tonight. I restarted the computer and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need no shit. Everybody here? Everybody can hear everybody? Yo. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Yo, everybody good? Can everybody hear everybody?
Yes. I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I can hear Troy.
All right, we straight.
What's going on, Kel?
What's Troy?
Oh, welcome back.
The way they
Shut the hell up! Don't start that.
Welcome back.
the way these calls emerged is different. Like I don't know. That's a little weird. It takes some getting used to. But we good.
Oh, Little Kim was not a stripper. She was working at a hotel before she got down with Dickens.
Okay. Whatever it was, all I know is.
She was called Notorious, not Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, Notorious. My bad. I said unbelievable. My bad. The movie was called Biggie Smalls is the Illest.
So y'all doing out there? Out in this beautiful winter wonderland I call Fat Man Summer.
What?
Dimples D's, what's going on, Ma? What's good? What's good? How you feeling? How you feeling?
What does that mean?
Y'all crazy.
Only
Hit that like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and.
I'll send you an email too. I have new music for tonight.
All right, cool. That's what's up. Let's. Hold on, You sent it to my Gmail?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me bring it up.
That was a street banger.
I don't want to have to be searching for it. Huh?
That other one was nice, Kel.
Thank you. I don't know about this one. A lot of people are mad at me about this one tonight. It's all so bad.
What they mad about it? What they mad about it about?
That's why I went back and I had to spin the block on one that I didn't like.
Oh yeah?
And so I wanted Queenie to try it out with her partner. And I liked it better than the other version. And the other people like the other version. And I don't care.
All right, let's get it on.
My lyrics, my choice.
Well, let's do it now.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Well, we want to do it right now. Here it go.
I think you can wait. But okay.
Yeah, we're going to wait till right now.
We're going to take the show over to 2 o'clock tonight, y'all. Hello?
You don't hear it?
I don't hear it. Nope.
Wake up like
I don't hear the song yet.
Everybody else hear it.
with a kiss from the ancestors. Let the melanin drink up the sun where I peep through my window like a peeping Tom. Trying to catch a glimpse of my booty.
Okay, hold on, y'all.
That runs rent free in the head of those who might gotta create and make we whole, and some of them have to put on blackness like a costume, but we born wrap up in magic, no mask, no disguise.
I wonder why y'all can't hear it.
Them can't
I know why.
Them can't explain it.
Yeah, I hear it now.
You do?
The blueprint of scroll on
Now I can hear it.
right down in a sacred tongue. Ancient words were born the mouth of those who try to speak something that is unspoken.
I don't hear it clear, but I hear it.
No one wins in the sin of fall.
Yeah, that's
we
what I
got to
thought.
take something we never get back. Nature's cousin spits in the dust and the wind. Children of the drum lift their voices, asking the world to feel again. Cheering of a drum, everyone loses. Mother Earth cries, the world dies slowly.
They sound good.
Oh, yeah. Me wanna be cry. None of them misunderstood, maybe them misused, maybe them mistaken, maybe them mistreated, maybe them misappropriated, maybe them misappreciated. Maybe I that make them mood, I'll sell them soul. For I'm in a school, nanosecond, swap to feel the luxury of having the wind whisper words. Whisper words. of alchemy and cosmology into their sequence of nucleotides.
Share, you feel it?
No one wins in the sin of fall. Every battle takes something we never get back. Nature's catches beats in the dust and the wind. Children of the drum, lift your voices, asking the world to feel again. Cheering on the drum, everyone loses. Mother Earth cries, the world has sown it. Oh, yeah. We cry. But if they take a moment to reflect, they'll see their reflection is a connection to an ounce of this spiritual perfection, this consciousness, this history, this story of reality, not the made-up fiction from lies and spies. No one wins in the sin of war. Every battle takes something we never get again. It just causes bits in the dust and the wind. Children of the drum, lift your voices, asking the world to feel again. The world got so late. Oh, yeah. We won't be cry.
Could y'all hear it?
I hear it.
The chat heard it. That thing is fire. That was a good look. Now I was thinking if y'all couldn't hear it, it's probably because y'all using my PC audio, and so is that. So if I played it through a different device, y'all would hear it clearer. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe
fine. I just turn on the TV. I just mute it and turn on the TV. That's it.
okay.
I'm letting you open the door. I don't smoke weed, but I wanted to get some top paper and roll a joint.
I'm telling Troy.
And drink some things, you know me.
Oh man.
So y'all heard that. Y'all heard those lyrics before in a different way.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't happy with it. That's the one that was a spoken word mix.
I remember that. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? And then Queenie came along, and I was like, "That's my performer right there." So I wanted her to try this.
Okay.
And I love it better.
Look like it worked to me.
That was nice.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. But if you don't like it, I need you to be honest.
That's a slapper.
Well,
sounds like a plan.
For the people who, for those who was in the chat that was listening to it, they seem to like it pretty much. So
thank you, guys.
There's that. All right, so we talking about gimmicks tonight. Gimmicks.
Yep.
So I mean, we can take this all the way back to wherever we need to take it. I'm thinking that, where I started seeing definitive gimmicks in musical acts was probably the 60s. And I'm thinking it could have been the 50s, but I don't really remember it being that. You know what I mean? Unless you consider the whole emergence of rock and roll to be a gimmick. And I think by a lot of people's standards, they thought rock and roll was just a gimmick. They may have felt that way about hip hop too. It was a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't real singing or whatever. So, but yeah, when people were kind of pushing through like a certain image, like, you had the Beach Boys, you had the Gidget and the Ghoulies. No, I'm just kidding. But, I remember that on the TV show, Gidget and the Ghoulies. A family singing group could be in some ways considered a gimmick. The
Partridge Family.
The Partridge Family, the Osmonds, Brady Bunch. Well, Brady Bunch wasn't a real, but they were of that ilk. If they were a real singing group, yeah, they very gimmicky. Now, interestingly enough, like somebody like the Jackson 5, I wouldn't consider to be a gimmick type of group. But back then, you never know what people were saying, because they were considered to be bubblegum, even for a soul or R&B group. You know what I mean? They didn't. If they had a gimmick, what would y'all say that was the gimmick that they were trying to put forth?
What are you talking about?
The Jackson 5.
I would think.
Oh, no,
I
they
would
didn't
think
have no gimmick. I don't think they had a gimmick.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I
one.
think they would try to use the fact that they were using youth, black youth.
I think so. Yeah, I would say that was probably the gimmick. You know, the high pitched voice. Huh?
I think the gimmick was getting the hell out of Indiana.
Well, but I think Kim is on it because you know the youth, the high pitched lead singer. You know what I mean? Definitely an attention getter. You know. Now I wouldn't say that their dancing and their routines was a gimmick because they definitely didn't create all of that. You know, there were plenty of well choreographed groups well before them. So, but yeah, if they had a gimmick, I would say that they were probably pushing forth their youth. You didn't have a lot of groups, especially a family group that was youthful and you know very talented. You know what I'm saying? So that could be considered.
There were plenty before that.
Were they?
Remember, well, not group, but a single person.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about as a group. They it could be construed as them having a gimmick. You know what I mean? If you were to say that they had a gimmick, I would say that was probably, close to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So, okay. So this is what we're going to do. Y'all know the format. So we're going to take, we can do one or two acts at a time and define what their gimmick was. And we could talk a little bit about why their gimmick worked and why they switched back, why they dropped the gimmick later on. So I know I went first last week, and Kim went second, and Troy went third. So we're gonna switch it. So I'll go last. Troy's going first, and Kim, that would make Kim second again. So okay. So Kim, you go first. And Troy, you go second, and I'll go third, and then the chat.
Okay.
Y'all ready? All right, yeah. Kim, it's on you.
So my first person that I think of somebody with costume would have to be George Clinton.
Oh, you probably took a lot of people. You probably scratched a lot of people's list with that one. God damn.
Immediately. First of all, he always looked like his gimmick was stinking.
It was. Them niggas was funky. They was funky in more ways than one.
It just looks like he was always dirty and comfortable with it to me.
Yeah.
And that's not the group. I mean, I'm not talking about the group probably. I just mean him by himself.
Oh, you just mean him as but I don't think you can mention George Clinton without his creations.
Well, I believe the whole Parliament, but it's just him by himself. I was like, Lord, child, what's happening?
Well, if you look at the way that George Clinton started out, the group, the parliaments, going all the way back to the 50s, they were a doo-wop group. So to go from doo-wop to what he started doing, huh? What'd you say?
I said they became dirty spaceship people.
Well, exactly the whole spaceship, the whole mothership connection thing. Their gimmick was strong. And all of his groups had a gimmick, a well-defined, yes, this is definitely a gimmick. Like, nobody here is who they are.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Can't complain, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my other person would be Cab Calloway.
And what was his gimmick?
His gimmick was the whole zoot suit, slick back hair, flashy, bold, in your face, calling out loud singing with these overly exaggerated moves, facial expressions, and style. Like every time I see that old Looney Tunes cartoon or Tom and Jerry cartoon with the cat and Tom, he has on the hat and the zoot suit, I always think of Cab Calloway.
Wow.
And I know at that time that was the style. However, he just went over the top with it. My grandmother would watch him, and I would be glued to the television because I was like, this guy is loud. Especially when he was saying Heidi Heidi Ho. He was just this loud call out, and he has these exaggerated looks. And he gets so worked up into what he's doing that hair would come from being slicked back and loose. Then he'd throw his hat, and he just always was exaggerated in everything he did. And I think that was just part of his gimmick. He was always like that. When he did Minnie the Moocher, same thing. So, that was my two.
Troy, do you agree that Cab Calloway had a gimmick?
It was a sign of the time, but yeah, I can understand why it would be considered somewhat gimmicky.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people following that trend at the time, so he just dived into the same trend.
Okay.
But I think he found his own space with it. He was more exaggerated than everybody with it.
Did he ever?
I would like to correct you on something, my sister Kim.
What?
The Dr. Umar voice.
What?
Minnie the Moocher was the song Heidi Heidi Ho, Heidi Ho. They're both one and the same. That was the song.
No, they're not. They're two different songs.
They are?
Yes.
Gotta do my homework. Let's do that. Gotta do my homework.
Okay, did he ever drop the gimmick?
I don't know. Because when I got old enough, I didn't continue watching them.
Okay.
That was in the house kind of watching them because I kept running in and out.
I think the music outplayed itself. You know, he was still singing the song, but he wasn't as relevant as he was because he became relevant because of the movie Stormy Weather. You know, him and what's the singer? How and his brother the Tap Dancers. They were all.
He died. Did he die before?
No, he didn't. No, he died. He died in the 80s.
Did he?
Yeah, he died in the 80s.
Yeah, I didn't do homework. I just knew Cab Calloway from that.
And then his daughter, allegedly, his daughter was Jeanette Dubois. Walona from Off a Good Time. She passed away.
Okay.
Well, shut the front door. Who knew?
All right, Troy, what are yours?
Thank you, Troy.
Very good to you. 1 second. I'm going to bring up your finger singable and how you and Kev love this guy, Bobby McFerrin. You mean Bobby McFerrin?
Bobby McFerrin. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, be happy.
What was his gimmick? Whackness? Like I didn't know being totally ass. I didn't know being totally ass was a gimmick. Like, so you meant to be that way?
Oh, yeah. I just feel his gimmick was using his body as an instrument. You know, so using his voice and his body, and finding ways to, not have to use any instrument. I think he did that because he didn't want to pay nobody. So, but his voice, the way he would hit on body, use it as an instrument.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with his gimmick.
That was his gimmick.
Okay. That's why I had to ask. Like, I don't know.
If you listen to the whole song, everything was, there was not one instrument played in that song. Everything was voiced.
That's true.
Everything was voiced in him and on his up on his body.
What with Don't Worry, Be Happy?
Yeah.
It wasn't no instruments in it?
No instrument.
Well, it was whack. It was whack, so I guess it didn't have no substance. All right.
You don't want to be happy don't mean other people don't want to be happy.
That song was ass, boy. That shit was ass.
They did overplay the song and it wasn't marketed.
No, I didn't like it the first time I heard it. That shit was ass. That shit was garbage. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at the song. I am. I'm still mad at it. I'm still mad.
I want you to like it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna like it in hell. All right, what's the second one?
Since you said it, that's what's gonna happen.
If it's that easy to get there, I wasn't never gonna make it to heaven anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Twisted Sister.
Oh, okay. Twisted Sister.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
No, that wasn't Twisted Sister. That was.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna. That's Twisted Sister.
No, it's not.
All right, let's do the homework.
Okay.
Tablet right here.
Yep.
That was Twisted Sister?
Snyder.
That was their name?
It was D. Snyder.
D. Snyder of Twisted Sister. 3-0.
Okay. Twisted Sister. Now, the name of the album was called Mental Health.
You keep it score?
Doesn't know what I'm talking about. 3-0. 3-1. 3-1.
Okay.
Well, we find out I could around making bad.
Twisted Sister. I'm thinking, what the fuck did what group did I think they were? Twisted Sister.
You might have thought they was Quiet Riot.
I did.
Oh,
they
yeah.
got mixed up.
Well, what did Quiet Riot sing?
What was their song that was like that? Let me see.
I thought that was their song.
Quiet Riot sings, come on.
Feel the note. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ain't this about a bitch? Okay, I got you. Okay. I got twisted up. All right, I got you. Okay. We're not going to take it. Ain't this about a bitch? They not the same song?
No, it's not.
All right, cool.
No, it's two different songs.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I guess I think I
sound like it, don't it?
I think I fused them.
You did.
It's like that's the prelude to like Kim's song. How they beat switch. You can mix both of them and beat switch them, and they'll both sound somewhat like. But
all right, so
I digress.
So did they change their gimmick, and why do you think they did?
Well, they changed.
Wait. What was their gimmick?
Their gimmick was following the same thing as Kiss. They did the same thing Kiss did. Had the makeup on their face.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't think so, Troy.
They didn't look like it.
Look at the video. Go to the video.
I'm going to go to them up now.
Go to it right now.
No.
When they first came out, he had a big hair and makeup on.
No, but Kiss is distinct.
Yeah, it's not. They were. All the rock groups had the mousse in their hair and the skinny pants.
Kiss was too distinct. Their face was full of paint.
Yeah.
Not just makeup.
Yeah, it was.
But theirs was full of paint. But they were following within the same footsteps as that. It might not have been overbearing, but they were following in the same footsteps as Kiss.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was that. I don't think their gimmick was anywhere close to Kiss. I'm not saying that they didn't have a gimmick, but I wouldn't associate their gimmick with a copy. Not of that.
Kiss stood alone in theirs. They were by themselves in there.
And after a while, they did take the shit off, because that's the same thing Kiss did. At one point, Kiss took off the makeup.
Yeah, after they after having the makeup played out.
And that's the same thing they did.
Did they? I mean, what I'm asking is, did they even last long enough? Like, how long was Twisted Sister in business? Like,
by the time they turned back around, they did one more album, and that was it.
Oh,
and
then
it wasn't really, it didn't last as long, but they did last long enough to develop a name for themselves.
If they only had 2 albums, they didn't last at all. So
we going by the longevity of the group now?
Well, no, you're right that they had a gimmick, but if we're going to say that they dropped their gimmick, they have to have a body of work showing that they had success when they rebranded or stopped their original gimmick. Like, okay, if you said like, for example, the Culture Club. The Culture Club had a good enough run for you to see, like, all right, with Boy George with the makeup, and then Boy George as a solo artist without the makeup. You understand what I'm saying? So there's
choose another one.
No. You were right. They had a gimmick. They just don't. They just don't complete.
Prepare the kids.
No. I'm saying they just don't complete the process of the questions that we were asking. You understand what I'm saying? They had a gimmick. I mean, they definitely qualified there. They just didn't have a good enough run where we could see their evolution of stopping the gimmick. So like, if you did something totally outrageous gimmick wise your first album, and then your second album you're totally normal or regular, we don't have enough information. You know what I'm saying? Like, we thinking if you had a good enough gimmick, you would at least do it for, let it stretch out for like 2 or 3 albums worth. I would think.
Right. That's true.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with the Fat Boys. And we all know their gimmick was making songs about being fat and eating and shit. You know what I mean? In the videos, they talk about food, and they had the human beatbox. Yep. And in my opinion, they had the best human beatbox, because Buffy shit was crazy. It had the deep bass, and they was a really, really good group. You know what I mean? And we know that the whole Fat Boys thing was a gimmick, because their real name was the Disco 3. So somebody, maybe Curtis Blow, maybe Russell Simmons, somebody told them that, y'all should call yourselves the Fat Boys. Y'all, all the 3 of y'all fat. Y'all can make some songs about that. I'm telling you, it would be a hit. And from what I understand about their biography, they was like, nobody, I ain't talking about that shit. That shit, ain't nobody gonna want to hear that shit. They were wrong. So,
and they got a movie. And they got a movie off that name.
They definitely got a movie out of there, but that's when they weren't talking about being fat anymore. So by the time they got to their 3rd or 4th album, they were still the Fat Boys, but they weren't talking about eating. They wasn't even hardcore hip hop. I mean, the Fat Boys, for all they gimmick in imagery to that point, they were still a hardcore rap group. Not like hardcore, like cursing and all of that, not gangsters, but they were hard. You know what I mean? They didn't sing, they didn't rap soft, or they weren't soft.
They were good.
Yeah, they were hard hitting. They were a hard hitting hip hop group, pure hip hop. They was just talking about being fat. That was their gimmick. So and Russell Simmons, anybody who was working under Rush normally had a gimmick. He was very into that part of the show. So Fat Boys is my first. And let's see. We already talked about Kiss. I'm gonna go with I think the reason that they stopped talking about being fat is I think that they had milked it enough. So by the time that they were really mainstream, doing songs with the Beach Boys and all of that shit, they didn't need to talk about being fat. They were already stamped. They were already commercial, crossed over and all of that. So they didn't really need to talk about being fat. They could just be fat and rap about anything they wanted to, because by that time, they had the crossover audience all wrapped up, so they could just say whatever they wanted to say. They were considered cool. And it's funny because they were considered cool by the crossover audience, but their original fans was like, what the fuck what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? But hey, so I think that's why they probably stopped their original gimmick. You could say that they swapped one gimmick for another gimmick. But okay, so the second artist I'm gonna go with is an artist that was my favorite artist, and that would be The Weeknd. Now, The Weeknd's gimmick was pretty much that dark, sort of like a dark gothic type of music, where he sang a lot about drugs and murder and drugs and murder, and robbing people and all this kind of shit. But he didn't do it in a gangster way. He sort of did it in a way his gimmick was like he was singing from the standpoint of a troubled young man who was just trying to make it in the industry. He just happened to know how to sing. And he was doing his thing with the wild, I don't know what that hairstyle was that you would call it. You know what I mean? But as you can see now, he cut his hair, and now that he reached the crossover audience, his music ain't the same. So, you could tell the hunger ain't there, and he ain't as strung out as he was before. And, so he's a little, I mean, I think he still is a good artist, but for about good, I caught up with him in 2012, 2013. So for 8 years, that was my dude right there. So I think that probably getting clean probably stopped his gimmick. And I wouldn't even know what to say his gimmick is now.
I don't even think he has one now.
I'm not sure, but he still sells records. He still sells out shows and all of that. So he's relevant. He's just when artists when they switch and they sort of shift their fan base or whatever, shit happens. But he's not as young as he used to be. Like when he was barely 20 years old when he was starting out. So you know how that go. You know what I mean? Motherfucker, something happens to people when they turn 30. Shit get different if they survive it. All right, so those are my two. What we have in the chat? What's up, Marvina Bigby? What's good? And okay. Dimples has a few. Lady of Rage, Gimmick. Okay, Afro Puffs and Kwame, the boy genius. Gimmick with the polka dots. Okay. DMX. His gimmick was pit bulls and barking like a dog. He definitely had the whole X had the whole keep it real, just a dude from off the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like representing the rawness. Okay. And it was exactly what hip hop needed at the time, because he was challenging the whole shiny suit era, as they called it at the time. So for him to reign supreme above that at that time, that was huge. That was huge. I wonder, had he blew up, because he came out the same year Biggie died. I wonder what would have happened if he would have survived. If Biggie would have survived, you know, with other artists starting to emerge. I wonder if Tupac and Biggie had survived, would the game have stayed the same longer, or would they have had to catch up to the new? Or would they have had to shift them? We never got a chance to see those artists evolve. It was a 5-year run for both of them. That's all we had. So we didn't see their evolution. We didn't see them become mature. All right. Oh shit. JJ said Uncle Luke definitely had a gimmick. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I love his gimmick.
Man.
I love his gimmick.
You know, actually, as a young man, his gimmick used to concern me. I used to be like, because you gotta think, that was the AIDS era. I was like, his shit used to sound sexually, yeah, like his shows and shit. I used to be thinking like, his shit seems sexually dangerous. But if it wasn't for Luke single-handedly crafted all of the freak shit you see now. All of it. The dancers, the naked girls, the go-go exotic dancers, and none of that shit existed before 2 Live Crew. None of it. Not a smidgen. Not even close. He said, fuck it. We gonna have 2 MCs that can't really rap worth shit, and it ain't gonna matter. We gonna sell this sex raw, and we gonna ram it down y'all throat. Watch what happens. He was right.
Literally, that's what he did.
Because they couldn't rhyme worth shit. They wasn't no rappers. Rest in peace to Brother Marquise and Fresh Kid Ice. But they couldn't rap. They gave it a go. But
Who was that?
huh?
Who couldn't rap?
Fresh Kid Ice or Brother Marquise.
Yeah. What group was they from?
2 Live Crew.
That's what he said.
Oh yeah. I have to remember their name. I ain't heard them so long.
Well, they had different members of 2 Live Crew. The original 2 Live Crew, I don't know what the name of those, you know, when they was hey, we want some pussy.
That's still them, son.
Huh?
That's the original one.
But that wasn't who sang Me So Horny and, you know, when they really blew up. So by the time that they came out with the Move Something album, it was Brother Marquise and Fresh Kid Ice. Hey, we want some pussy. That shit came out all the way back in 85, 86. So I don't know who those rappers were when they came out with Throw That Dig, Throw That Dig. That was all before they actually were established on Luke's label, and you know they had the distribution deal and all of that shit. Luke, anyway, that was, you know, I was just saying, you know, Luke, they sex thing was definitely a gimmick, and they pioneered that. Nobody else can say that they was doing that or anything remotely close to it before them. Let me see. Reason said, would y'all consider 3-6 Mafia gimmicky? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 3-6 Mafia. 3-6 Mafia? You know. What's their gimmick? Okay. First, part of their gimmick is the whole Southern thing. They definitely represented the South. And you listen to Juicy J. Juicy J has this sort of, like he said in one of his lines, he said, like he take drugs like a teenager. But they kind of represented the whole rawness of the dirty South, the whole kind of like the keep it real street. sort of gangster type of. They definitely had a gimmick. It's hard for me to explain exactly what their gimmick was, but they had one. Oh shit! I mean, the whole sipping on some scissor up shit. You know what I mean? They got people into that shit. I mean, people was doing it anyway, but they popularized it. They put syrup on the map. You know, scissors, sipping on some scissor, sipping on some. I mean, if you think about it, the hits that they had with that and Hard Out Here for a Pimp, they had major hits. They won an Oscar for that shit. So, it'll be hard to find any rap group that doesn't have a gimmick. Kid and Play, what kind of gimmicky? Absolutely. Like just two homeboys, you're having fun. You know what I mean? You know, pretty innocent, party up. You know what I mean? Out dance everybody and all that dancing shit.
His hair was painted along with a gimmick.
You said his hair alone?
Mm-hmm.
You could say that. He looked like everybody in Philly at the time. Let me see. My man Art of Mine, 559. What's going on, my dude? How you feeling? Let me see. Who else? Eminem was almost a gimmick at first until people realized he was legit. No, I consider him to still have a gimmick because, you know, his gimmick was the white boy that could really rap, rhyme is good or better than most black rappers. He was a battle rapper. That was part of his gimmick, talking about drugs and how hating women, particularly his baby mom and his mother. You know what I mean? A troubled white boy. Eminem absolutely had a gimmick. You know what I mean? The whole blonde hair shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He just, huh? Slim Shady, yeah. You know, a white bad boy. Not a gangster, but a white bad boy. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to be able to rhyme as good as anybody else, or better. Mostly better. But yeah. You can just about find a gimmick in any artist. Just about. If you try hard enough. But the ones who really chart, normally they have some type of gimmick. But we're gonna try to, you know, make it a little bit harder. Let me see. Would I vote for Luther Campbell? That would be a fuck out of here. I'm sorry, dog. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't have to judge you on your past, but I'm sure not voting because of it. You know what I'm saying? All of these motherfuckers trying to come back. Listen, if we would have voted our conscience, Trump would have never became president. All that old dumb shit he used to be. Listen, all of these motherfuckers, if you did all of this crazy ratchet shit back in the day, I'm not fucking with you today. Not politically, not as a leader. You can't lead me. You're not qualified. I mean, Uncle Luke wanting to be a congressman. Like, are you fucking out of your mind? The fuck out of here.
Yo, that's how that would go.
Yo, he's really trying to do. He's running.
Oh, because they were coming to office?
Yes.
I'm going to change that. I will vote for Uncle Luke in a minute, considering BB Elders out and how he would do things differently.
Well, he's dropped all of that. You know, all of that went out with his football coaching.
I think you should bring it down.
Working with the youth is great. I'm not telling anybody that they can't go forward and they can't rebrand themselves and they can't do better in life. They can't evolve. I'm not saying they can't evolve or they can't mature. But what you can't do is you can't unsuck all them dicks on stage. You can't unfuck all them chicks on stage. You can't unfreak all of them shows. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't make me forget.
You cannot wash away pop that coochie. You can't wash away pop that coochie.
You can't wipe away. You can't wash away. Shake them titties, baby. Shake them titties. I'm still dancing to that shit. However, you're just not the man that's qualified to lead me. I'm good.
Hey, his slogan should be, if Trump can do it, why can't I?
Would that be it?
Well,
that would be it, right?
Because of him, now everybody think that they can, just like he said, Obama could become president, so can I. Now everybody's saying, I don't give a fuck what I've done in life. I can be somebody because of Trump. I'm like, fuck out of here for all y'all. All right, Will Smith is good. His gimmick, he didn't curse in any songs. Actually, he did. He cursed. His gimmick was, but you're right. His gimmick was being clean, family oriented. His gimmick was just being fucking corny as shit on a record. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Being whack as hell. But Will Smith, When he
first came out in Philly, son, he was one of your favorite rappers.
No, he wasn't. I never liked him at all, ever. I've never liked Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince. I always liked Jazzy Jeff. I used to be, but they first record, I was like, why would he pick an MC like this? Why? But Will was a Fresh Prince, I should say, was a really good battle rapper. So off the records, he could rhyme his ass off. On the records, I ain't want to hear shit he had to say. Even Brand New Funk. I ain't like none of that shit.
Shit, I love Brand New Funk.
I mean, I like the record, but I didn't like him. I ain't like his lyrics. I ain't like nothing. I never liked nothing Will said. Ever.
It's out of the ordinary. Extraordinary. Oh, yeah, I give him 1 to 10. I put him in the 6, 7 area.
I'll put him in the records that I'm not going by area. All right, so JJ said Tupac had a gimmick. I think Tupac played harder. You think he played harder than he's a total fucking fraud. But
did he go to Gilliard or something like that?
No. No, he didn't go no Gilliard. No, he didn't. No, he definitely didn't go no Juilliard. He wasn't even in New York by the time he would have been able to go to his Juilliard.
He did go to a creative and performing arts school in Baltimore.
In Baltimore. No, he didn't. You can Google all you want. He didn't go there.
He didn't go. He went to some school in Maryland.
Yeah, I feel he went to a creative and performing arts school in Maryland.
Yeah, Baltimore School of Art.
Yeah. He played the whole thug life thing and all that. That wasn't him.
Ballet.
Yeah, he was soft as cake. But hey, he was an actor. And he acted his way all the way to the grave. Simple as that. But that was his gimmick, the whole thug life thing. I represent for my homies. This is us. It's us against them. He had a good gimmick. He made a lot of people believe him till this day. You cannot tell Tupac fans shit about no Tupac. But we have more tape than you. All right, let me see. Nothing beats the classic soul of the 70s, the stylistic and blue magic. Well, okay.
Indeed.
All right. JJ said, I'd vote for Luke over King Tangerine.
You know what that gimmick was, right, son?
I would have some real thinking to do in the booth. Like, oh, God damn. I thought the fall of America would come after I died. Like, y'all want to do this now? Like, right now? The fuck? Like, we traded Nazi Germany for the fucking strip club? What are we doing? All right. Let me see.
Dude, you said something about did you say the stylistics and blue magic?
The stylistics and the blue magic. That's what
You know
Gia.
what their gimmick was, right?
What was it?
The high false federal singers.
I mean, they didn't own that gimmick though.
Well, he didn't own it, but they took it to a different level. That was, matter of fact, it was somewhat of a Philadelphia sound because between them, the stylistics, the Delphonics, and Blue Magic, all from Philly, all had high falsetto singers.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Kim, it's on you.
Well, one, of course, would be Flavor Flav out the gate because we know his gimmick was the big clock, being wild. He was definitely a hype man, beyond all hype men. You know, he has some women wanting to deal with him. Oh.
So you just gonna pick Flavor Flav out of Public Enemy?
Yes.
But he wasn't he wasn't a solo artist.
Okay, well then just go with Public Enemy.
Okay. And their gimmick
But I still
was
say Flavor Flav. His gimmick was his clock. And the fact that he was ugly as all hell get out. But women wanted that green, I guess, from I don't know. Well, man, he was a looker. And I don't mean in a good way. Pretty cool. I like Flavor Flav. I like Flavor Flav as a person. He's a bit of a humanitarian and a philanthropist, so I appreciate and respect that. But he still, boy, he was not easy on the eyes. And then don't forget, he always wore the little Viking helmet, goggles, and he wasn't a fashionable person, but he had his own fashion.
he lamping, Coco lamping.
One other person, another group would be Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
They definitely had a
They
gimmick.
always came out characters and clown face paint and weird kind of mythology stuff. So they're my people.
Okay. Troy. Wait. Did they change their gimmick? Did they ever drop it?
Flavor Flav did not. He's 642 right now. Still wears a big clock, the tracksuit. I don't know about Insane Clown Posse. I've never seen them do anything else but Insane Clown Posse shit. That's pretty much it.
I like that. Insane Clown Posse shit. I like that. I feel it. All right, Troy, what you got?
Well, my first one is the Isley Brothers.
The Isley Brothers, what gimmick did they have?
Hold up. They came out when they came out and it was on Motown. They was part of Motown. They were not the Isley Brothers that we knew in the 70s going through the 80s. They were almost like we started out as a doo-wop. If you listen to the first hit was Twist and Shout.
It was.
So that was the gimmick?
Well, to me that was.
All right. See, Troy, this is what you have to do. You have to find out. You have to define what the gimmick is. You struggling over here.
Their gimmick was to get their foot in the door.
No. That's not a gimmick. Tell me. I mean, what we need is for you to say exactly what the gimmick was, not what their mission statement was, or what they, what their goals were. Like what made them a gimmick? Like when you think of Isley Brothers, whether you talk about then or now, what would you say was the thing that you remembered about them, because the gimmick has to be from the standpoint of the fans and the public, not from the because it's what you see. Like what Kim is talking about with Flavor Flav and the clock and all that. Like you can clearly see and say what the gimmick was. Like if you talk about Public Enemy, like their gimmick was the whole, they had the S1Ws, the whole Black Power thing. Like it's a clear cut gimmick. If you're going to say the Isley Brothers, you have to say exactly what their gimmick. Like when you see the Isley Brothers or think about the Isley Brothers, you should automatically go right to this thing. Boom.
Okay.
So what is it?
Their gimmick, the Isley Brothers that we know in the 70s and 80s were not the same Isley Brothers that were in when they first started out as. When they first started out as was a backup singing group, a group that was like more clean and polished. Their gimmick was being clean and polished and singing more of Motownish type songs. To me, that was more of a gimmick, because when the 70s came, they changed their wardrobe and they became more of a funk act. They changed it. They changed the style of their dressing. It became more funk. So if you look at how they started out as, they started out as a clean, polished doo-wop group on Motown that didn't really establish themselves. Once they left Motown and they went independent, that's who they really were. So
you haven't defined their gimmick, and their gimmick can't be their genre. They have to, like, the gimmick has to be their image, what they're selling. It has to be the image that they're selling. Like if
let me switch it up, because I don't know how to explain it. Let me switch it up.
Okay.
My first one is the New Edition, and their gimmick was it sound like the Jackson 5. That's why they put
there you go
Ralph Tresvant in the forefront. That was
there you go.
Gimmick.
There you go. Everybody can see that. Everybody could see that at the time.
Everybody in the group, was two. It was really only three of them that could really sing. But since Ralph had the Michael Jackson style of singing, they put him in the forefront.
Okay. Who's your second group? Or your second artist or whatever?
My second.
Wait. Before we get your second artist, what made them drop their gimmick?
Well, they got older.
Okay, I mean, it is what it is.
They didn't drop their gimmick.
Well, they did. They did. I mean, after they started to get older and more mature, they sound started to evolve. They didn't need to try to sound like the Jackson 5 anymore. They didn't need that. You could clearly.
Well, they got older and his voice changed. So pretty much, they still kept him at the forefront. And then when Johnny Gill came, he was still there, but it was a 1A, 1B thing. But at the end of the day, I think that the dropping of the gimmicks just was part of them getting older.
Well, don't you think that didn't they establish a new gimmick?
What was the new gimmick?
Boys to Men. They clearly talked about how they were evolving from boys to men. They went from the basketball playing in the videos and hanging out with rappers and all of that. Then here they were 20 and 21 years old, portraying this image of grown men, mature, you know what I'm saying, wanting to do all that shit. You know what I mean? It was clearly a gimmick because they wasn't but 20 and 21 years old. They wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no old heads and all of that shit, trying trying to rock, trying to get on the Budweiser Superfest and shit. What the fuck for? But that was their gimmick. They had older producers who were encouraging them to take on a or older, more mature persona. That was more adjusting to having Johnny Gill in the group than anything else. So that became their gimmick. And it was clearly a gimmick because they didn't stick to that. By the time they got past the Any Heartbreak album, now they were acting their own age, like mid-20s and all of that shit. So you clearly see that with BBD. Ralph still tried to, do the, I don't know what the fuck Ralph was trying to, that gimmick, that shit wasn't working. But New Edition as a group, the older they got, the more they started to act their age. So they were acting their age when they were young, and they were acting their age as they started to get into like their 20s and their mid to late 20s and 30s. But when they
that was somewhat the same thing I was saying. I think they got older, more mature.
Yeah, but I was asking you, did they drop their gimmick? I think that I'm saying that they dropped their original gimmick and then picked up a new gimmick. You understand what I'm saying? Because the whole song "Boys to Men," if you listen to the lyrics, sacrificing our younger years to focus on our careers, and I'm listening to this shit like, y'all motherfuckers is 21. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? The fuck is you talking? Listen, the song's a nice song. But stop letting them motherfuckers old jaw up too early. The fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going on tour with Al B. Short. Y'all going on tour with motherfuckers y'all age. Y'all not going to be on tour with Anita Baker and Luther and all of them. Cut this bullshit out. Don't let them do that shit to y'all. Don't let them do that shit to y'all. Y'all just reached drinking age. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. I'm like, they on here with suits on and shit. The fuck out of here. If y'all put some goddamn boots and jeans on, some gold chains, they could have been Jodeci first, but no. You let Jimmy Champ and Terry Lewis fucking put 20 years on y'all motherfucking asses.
They really did.
They did. And as soon as they broke up, all of them motherfuckers got in they correct lane. Bobby, BBD, but no, Johnny was always older than all of them. He was old when he was 10. He old when he's 60. But anyway, all right. What's your second one, Troy?
The second one is going to be Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim?
Yeah.
Okay.
With they played the ukulele.
Okay.
With the high falsetto.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool.
And the big curly hair.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did he ever drop his gimmick?
No, he never dropped it yet. No, he kept it going until he died.
That was what was paying the bills. Fuck, it wasn't nowhere to go, I guess.
There ain't nowhere to go but stay his natural course.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to. I was going to do an old group, but let me. You know what? Wu-Tang Clan. The whole Shaolin, the whole Wu-Tang, the karate flicks, the whole, you know what I mean? You would think all of these motherfuckers was in the martial arts and none of them were. They was in the martial arts movies. but they rocked that gimmick to death. They sold more paraphernalia than anybody. They had stores and shit. That gimmick worked. That gimmick worked internationally. And it may have worked internationally better. They had Japan more on their shit than the United States. And that's some spectacular shit to do. So but yeah, I think and they had gimmicks within the group Gimmick. So you had Ghostface, who didn't show his face on the first album. You know what I mean? Like until he came. Remember, Ghost had the mask on in the beginning. Old Dirty Bastard. They all had a gimmick within the group. So you had 10 individual gimmicks, and then you know what I mean. And then the group as a whole, with the whole Wu-Tang shit, the Wu-Tang swords and all that old shit. The what do you say? The Wu symbol in the night. Yeah, I mean they was killing it with the clothing. That shit was cheap as hell too. I remember they had a Wu store near right off South Street. Back in the 90s. I was like, yeah, that gear was cheap as that shit was definitely Chinese made. You know, back then. You know what I mean? That shit was ass. But from far away, in the magazines and from on TV, that shit looked top notch.
Wasn't the clothes called Wu Wear?
Yeah, it was called Wu Wear. So they pushed their gimmick. They pushed it hard. They were marketing geniuses. I would definitely say that. And I think as they got older, they had. I mean, we talking about 35 years later. They had to drop a lot of their gimmick, but they kind of held on. They held on to their original premise, but as individual artists started doing their thing, and the group started recording less and less as a group, I wouldn't say that they ever lost their original gimmick, but they definitely dumbed it down. I mean, all of the motherfuckers in their 50s. What you gonna do? All right. Okay. The second group, because I want to go with. I kind of want to talk artists that you probably wouldn't think had a gimmick, but I think they still did. So the second one I'm going to go with is Run DMC. Now, Run DMC. Now, Run DMC's what they brought to the table was no costumes. We going to dress the way that we would dress right around the way on stage. And that was very innovative in 1983, 1984. Nobody had done that. Grandmaster Flash and Treacherous 3 and all of them, they were in costumes. They was wearing, sequin shit and, you know what I mean? Shit with rhinestones on them. It was shit that you had to zip up, onesies and shit. That's what they wore. When Run DMC came on stage, I ain't even talking about the Adidas because they was just sneakers to us. We didn't even notice that they didn't have no laces in them. But just the derby hat and the either the sweatsuits or the leather blazer and stuff like that. That's the way people just dressed in the hood. So for them to jump on stage and rhyme like that was a gimmick. And then fusing the whole rap beats, hard rap beats with the guitar, with the rock, that was the gimmick also. So they sold it well, and I kind of credit them with the keeping it real type of thing, even though that was a gimmick. Because it's documented that it was Jam Master Jay who suggested that they just dress like they would around the way on stage. That was Jam Master Jay's genius. That was his suggestion. So it was a gimmick, and it worked. And now you hear motherfuckers talking about keeping it 100, and you know what I mean, just wearing regular street fashion and shit. They have Run DMC to thank for that. Even though I don't think that they get their proper credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
So now, did they drop their gimmick? They did. The whole, certain things had to evolve with the time. Their music never really changed, but it also didn't really grow. And as they started to become, probably parents and husbands, and for Jam Master Jay, producers and artist direction for other artists and things like that. So they never really changed, but their gimmick, I don't think they ever really dropped their gimmick. They pretty much stayed with it. And just stopped recording as much. That's what I would say. Now, y'all, I mean, if y'all want to dispute that, y'all can, because I may be looking at it through a different set of lenses.
No, I can agree with that, because I had them down on my list too.
Okay.
But the difference is that I was trying to find out what gimmick it was, and you explained it correct.
But they have something tangible.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you knew what you was getting with Run DMC.
Mm-hmm.
You knew exactly what you was gonna get.
You found out that the voice that DMC was using was not his regular voice.
How about that? He should talk. He should have talked with an echo chamber. It's funny because when I saw an interview with DMC, and he was like, most people had never heard me talk outside of rhyming on stage. I got to think about that shit. Like, ain't that about a bitch? We sure didn't. He ain't talk. That was Run always talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he said that's why they called him Run, because he was running his mouth he ran his mouth all the time. Talk. What up, Jason? What's good? He said even if you look at the movie Crush Groove, did I say anything? I said he did some shit. No lines for DMC. Only when he get on stage. Only when he get on stage, and rhyme, and do his thing. Yo, run. All right, let's go to the chat. All right, hold on. What up, my man Ed? Ed from Detroit, what's good? All right, let me see. Okay, JJ said nearly every drag actor who ever made an album was a gimmick. Eddie Murphy, Don Johnson, Jamie Foxx, Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, all those fools. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Tom Jones, Wayne Newton, they were old, 60s, 70s, who were gay as a parade. Liberace, let me see. Stacey White says Janet Jackson, her costumes and big hair. I don't know if that was her gimmick.
That was just a style.
Yeah. I think
It wasn't consistent all the time.
What would you say Janet Jackson's gimmick was?
When she first came out with the Control album was taking over her own life.
No, her gimmick was still talking like she was Penny on Good Times. That was her gimmick.
Yeah, that was a part of her gimmick. But if you hear when you listen to the whole song, the whole album was about control. You know,
You want to say that? I don't agree with you saying.
I'm getting tired of Joe telling me what to do. I'm going to do this shit on my own.
That's one album. That's not a gimmick.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that was her gimmick.
That she had no.
She did. Talking like she was still penny on good time. Instead of ass woman.
If I had to say what Janet Jackson's gimmick was, I would say that she definitely capitalized off of the Jackson name, number one. But I think that the Rhythm Nation thing was more her gimmick. Because she definitely brought the energy of that choreography. You know what I mean? That was her thing. You went to a Janet Jackson show, you got a lot of dance energy, and she was really good at it. Now, and she actually talked about it in her songs. You know, because there's a big difference between the Control album and the Rhythm Nation album. But I think that the Rhythm Nation album was more of her evolution and what she got settled into, because she did that longer. You know, the Control album wasn't even her first album. It was actually her second album. But she made her first album when she was like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, something like that. So when she came out with the Control thing, that was just her declaration to her independence. But I wouldn't consider that to be her gimmick. I mean, you're going to call it a gimmick maturity. But the whole thing of her being the independent but worthy Jackson sister, you know what I mean? But she, you know, even though Michael Jackson was the biggest dancer in the family, but Janet Jackson challenged that, because Janet, you looked at Janet Jackson as a whole. Like, think about it, the Rhythm Nation. So it's not just her. This is my whole crew. You know, you could say that she did the MC Hammer thing before MC Hammer. You could say, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, if you're looking for a definitive gimmick for Janet Jackson, I would say something along those lines. What do y'all think?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Elton John was amazing, but Elton John definitely had a gimmick. You know, the big crazy glasses, you know, the big, you know, the crazy way of dressing. He was very Liberace-esque. He was very Liberace-esque. And I think he kind of remained that way. Once it was established that he was gay and all of that, he never publicly admitted it, but everybody knew, you know, and I think he got kind of comfortable with that. And, you know, he'll call him the queen of the king of divas and shit. All right. Oh, okay. Dimples D says David Bowie's gimmick was Ziggy Stardust. And it was. But he changed he went through a few gimmicks. You know, by the time he got to the 80s with Let's Dance and all of that shit, you know, you would have never even known he came from the Ziggy Stardust era. You know what I mean? Like, he did a lot. You know?
You think that he's gonna be in the top 5 of gimmicks to switching over.
Yeah. I think David Bowie was definitely trying to find himself. And he
Dance came out, that was able to switch over to R&B.
I consider Let's Dance to be a R&B record. I said I consider Let's Dance to be an R&B record.
It could, yeah.
It had all the elements, and he said that he kind of aimed for that. Like, well, you hit it. You hit it. Especially with the long version. All right, it says Kiss leveraging comic book elaborate live shows and Wu-Tang Clan gimmick was their unique blend of 1970 kung fu. Okay, I didn't even read that before I picked them. All right, shit. Shell Love says, yo, son, Luther gimmick is he had women screaming for him. Luther like men never. Wait a minute, I don't even think he trying to diss. Wait a minute. Women screaming for him like men never too. I don't know. That shit crazy. All right. I'm not sure if Luther had a gimmick though. Not one that I could define. You know.
When he first came out, they called him Kentucky Fried Chicken eating ass Luther. Remember, he was on stage eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Did he actually do that?
I don't remember that.
I thought Eddie Murphy just made that shit up. Like, he did that shit?
Oh, that was.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Why would anybody do that?
I remember like we were 6-year-olds going to see Luther on stage eating some chicken.
I didn't know.
I remember looking in the Jet magazine and seeing him sitting on stage eating a bucket of chicken.
Really?
That's awful.
You ain't telling a damn lie.
I'm not telling a lie.
I know you are.
He was sitting on a chair on a stool. He had a bucket of chicken sitting on the table and a bunch of roses. I remember that. I got a great memory.
Oh, well, I'm about to Google this shit because I know it's got to be.
I am too.
Google.
Luther Vandross eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken on stage.
And what magazine did you say it was?
Jet. It was a Jet magazine.
Yeah, I was going to say you told a damn lie.
Okay.
All the images have Eddie Murphy doing it.
Exactly. There's no image of. I told you it was a lie. Try just laughing on reason. And then stick to it.
I've seen. I'm telling you the truth.
You just made up something your eyeballs didn't even see.
Okay.
That's like you just said to us. Remember when Luther, like we were there? We don't remember shit.
Wait a minute. It looks like Luther Vandross did bring a bucket of chicken on stage after Eddie Murphy as a response to after Eddie Murphy made the joke, not before. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know if he ever originally did that.
He didn't.
Well, I didn't know it was before. I forgot all about the Eddie joke, but I know I've seen that picture of him on stage in a Jet magazine.
Nope.
Yep.
No, there's no recollection of it.
When I find I'm gonna send it to son, and he gonna send it to you.
Then you do that.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me see. So we going here with the woo stuff. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get it. Let me get it together. Okay, Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson. If you nasty, but she was really her. Okay, all right. Let me see. James Backward says, no, Janet kind of had the masculine look to me as an adult. As a teenage, she was cute. Now, she ain't never looked masculine to me.
No, she ain't never looked masculine ever. But she got a different version of masculine than the rest of everybody else.
Carla says Janet Jackson kind of had that biker chick vibe, in my opinion, and then the sexy vibe later on. So she might have portrayed a lot of different things to different people. So maybe she had a floating gimmick. Maybe her gimmick wasn't a set gimmick to anybody. I don't know. I don't know. Maria Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez. What's going on, man? All right. Let me see. Stevie Ray Vaughan played the guitar on David Bowie's Let's Dance album, but he was fairly obscure at the time. Okay. Somebody said, "Don't lie on Luther." Marvina says, "I'd eat chicken with Luther, but I love chicken." Oh man. Noma says, "Not even Big Luther would have done that. You just wrong, sir."
Thank you, lying.
JJ said, "Outkast were gimmicky." They were, and it seemed like they had a new gimmick every album. AT Aliens, you know what I mean? They was doing you saw a lot of Andre influence on their albums, and it's like when he ran out of ideas of imagery and gimmicks, they didn't want to play no more. Like,
Not these toys are old. No new toys come out.
You know what I mean? That shit crazy. I mean, everybody liked Outkast except for Andre 3000. he was the motherfucking, he was the Lauryn Hill of his own group and shit. He was the Lauryn Hill of his own group and shit. They just didn't have enough members to go on without him. All right, Kim, your turn. And this is going to be the last round.
So the ultimate costume group for me would be the Village People.
Oh shit!
Because I mean, there's no question
God
there.
Damn, Gimmick all day, every day.
They come out with all these different professions.
I'm wondering, why am I getting mad? I fucking hate them motherfuckers.
Low key, you don't want people to know you there. You and Crystal run around the house and you want to see.
Man, that will absolutely never ever happen.
People like, unhand my paws, you weirdo.
Like macho man. All right.
So the Village People, and my other would be, I don't know why this song tight, because I've been thinking about it all week. But the group Devo, I don't know if anybody remembers them.
I remember them well, with them fucking flower pots on their head.
Devo. They sang this song with it.
With the flower pots on their head. They had a total of one album, I think.
Yeah, I think so. For them.
Mm-hmm.
That song been stuck in my head all week. And that's what made me think of them, because they used to wear that. I don't know what you want to call it.
I said flower pots. They look like flower pots to me.
Like domes or something, I don't know. But them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then my two.
Okay.
Well, favorite, the Village People.
Well, did any of them? I don't think either of them lasted long enough to change their image.
No, they still had the same image. That's all I can remember. The Village People, you see them singing now with stupid ass orange nothingness, and they still got the same look. Probably new people, same look, same costume. Devo, I don't know what Devo's doing.
Okay. All right. Triz.
I'm gonna go with Marilyn Manson.
Oh, good one. Absolutely a gimmick there.
Devil worshiper, beautiful people, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Devil worshiping bastard.
Okay. They were angry.
Drinking blood and everything. Maybe him and Ozzy Osbourne should have got together.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of which one do I want to go with the most. that can give off the best gimmick.
Wait, did he ever change? Did he ever drop his gimmick or?
He never changed it.
Okay.
He's still fucking girl and man.
Listen, I don't want to make anybody mad. I'm just asking.
No.
I come in peace. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button, please. Thank you.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He was on my list, Troy. Absolutely.
If the Village People is number one, then Weird Al Yankovic is number two.
I agree 100%.
Song parodies.
He didn't change the damn thing. He still can go on tour doing Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, I mean, his gimmick was song.
He just had something going on where he's still himself. And he still got their hair.
I know one thing, Coolio was ready to fuck up. Fuck him up. We were doing Mr. Paradise.
Well, that means Coolio didn't have a sense of humor, didn't know how to laugh at himself, because he did so many. Like you said, it made him feel good that he did a parody of stupid.
Well, his gimmick was song parodies.
Well,
Where was he going? Yeah, where was he going to go with that? Where else was he going to go? You know what I mean? Like he got it right the first time. On a sidebar, which decade would y'all say had the most groups with the most definitive or outright gimmicks?
70s.
The 70s? 80s? Woo! Wow.
Like Country Club, you got Run DMC. Shit, you got
The 70s, you had Parliament, you had Bootsy, you had Ohio Players,
Funkadelics.
the gimmick for the Ohio Players.
So this is my opinion of it. One day, as an adult, I was paying attention to some old videos, and I was like, these things was treats. They had a lot of...
They sold sex a lot, Ohio Players did.
Erotic, mask, and leather, and they did too much.
The naked women on the album cover, that kind of shit.
I'm glad as a kid I didn't recognize it like that, but as an adult I was like, wait a minute. Why was we allowed to listen to this?
Yeah, what were they really talking about in Roller Coaster, huh? What was they? But
they still, that even LaBelle, remember playing LaBelle when she was in LaBelle? They had a gimmick thing.
Yeah. You had Cindy Lauper.
No, I'm gonna stick with the 70s.
We'll go to the 80s.
See, the thing about the difference between the 70s and the 80s is that the 80s, you could familiarize yourself with the gimmick more because of the music videos. The 70s didn't have the music videos, so but the 70s had more of the album covers that you would pay attention to. So the with Parliament, Funkadelics having the pop-up album covers and shit like that. So it's hard to say. I don't think that anybody could be wrong if you pick the 60s, the 60s, 70s, or 80s, because if you were old enough in the 60s, you probably know groups that we don't know because we know of more of the popular groups, you know what I mean? Whereas just like us being teenagers in the 80s, we remember groups that will never make it to these award shows. You know what I mean? Artists that will never make it to these tribute shows and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like certain underground artists and things like that, forgotten artists. And or artists that may have meant something to us, but maybe didn't chart like that to the rest of the world. So I don't think that there's a number that you can clearly say about who had the most gimmicks. So we kind of have to use the eye test, and all of us know different artists than most of us know. So I'm sure it's like Kim, you may have had like an underground rap scene going on in Indiana or somewhere in the Midwest that we know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? And so you may have access to some gimmicks that some gimmicks from some groups that we never heard of. Same thing with you, Troy. So if I had to pick between the 70s and the 80s, like I know just having Kiss and all of those a lot of those rock groups had clear cut gimmicks going on. You know, we talk about Kiss because they really stood out, but then you look at AC/DC, you look at yeah, definitely Queen. You look at Peter Frampton. You know, like there were a lot of, you know what I mean? And it was the disco era too. And a lot of those disco era artists had clear gimmicks too, you know? So, but the 80s with the music videos, just like Troy was saying, you know, the Cyndi Laupers, all of those videos you can pick out all of those videos and see the gimmicks everywhere from Michael Jackson all the way down to the Pac-Man fever. You know what I mean? Like it was gimmicks galore. So I can't say, but if I had to nail it down, I would probably say the 70s because they had to have gimmicks that weren't going to be seen on TV. You had to buy the album, get into the artist, or go to the shows. Speaking of which, there is a video on YouTube, Peter Frampton. This fucking concert video is so dope. It's a live video. I think they were in somewhere on the West Coast, maybe San Francisco, somewhere like that. It's one of my favorite videos. And what's the song? Peter Frampton. Hold on. It's in my library.
Look at the picture I just sent you.
What the fuck? What is this though?
Am I lying?
You're not, but this is not him in just a regular bucket of chicken. Like
that is Luther on stage. I thought he was sitting in a chair. Just the picture from Jet. I just Googled it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what this picture is about. Because he's not by himself. It is not a regular bucket of chicken. This looks like a sponsored video.
Exactly. He was doing the concert, and it says Eddie said that about him. Remember?
Okay, so he did it in response to Eddie Murphy. That changes a lot.
I said I forgot about the Eddie Murphy joke.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not about that.
Okay.
When I was young.
All right, cool. What up, Nicole Ellis? What's good? All right. All right. The fuck? Why is this shit in black and white looking like this shit is from the 40s? Huh? Like, what the hell? All right. Was it my turn?
Yeah. you was just talking about Peter Frampton and everything, but you didn't go.
Yeah, I didn't do my artist, right? I was still responding to the sidebar question about who had the most gimmicks, the 70s or the 80s. Yeah, so I would go with the 70s. All right. So my artist is you said Cyndi Lauper. I was actually going to go with her. I'm going to go with a more up to date artist. And let's see, do I want to do dead or alive? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do Erykah Badu.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going to do Badu. Now, when she first came out, you know, the whole neo soul thing, the whole reminding you of reminiscent of Kim, your artist with Strange Fruit, 1950s, Billie Holiday. You know, the Billie Holiday kind of Billie Holiday-esque type of voice and all of that shit. That her inflection, all the candles and all of that shit. The dreads, the big dreads. And we found out all that shit was fake. You know what I mean? It was all of that shit was a straight gimmick. She was just a little skinny brown skin artist. You know what I mean? Who had a couple of ideas. You know what I mean? But, and that's the thing about a lot of these gimmicks. Like, are they portraying a real image, or are they, is this actually what they wanted to do, or were they pushed by the record company to do this shit? A&Rs and shit, But yeah, I'm gonna go with Erykah Badu, and she definitely changed that shit. By the second album, it wasn't no candles. It wasn't none of that shit. You know what I mean? By the third album, it looked like she was going more towards the first album, but to me, I've seen her evolve as an artist. And gimmick or no, well, one gimmick or another gimmick.
That's still her. Some of that is still how she is.
Yeah, but if you think about how she started out, I'm not sure if that was how she was. Like, the dreads wasn't even real. I mean, come on.
Well, she's still gimmicky.
Very.
Someone with the big ass.
This is who she is. One of them kind of people, like Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. When you portray yourself or market yourself as one thing, and then we find out that a lot of that shit was artificial. Now I don't know what to say you really are, because you push imagery. So to me, you're just an artist. For me, I mean, once I see that you fake the funk once or twice, I'm like, I mean, how many times am I going to let you sell me an image? So.
So can I ask you a question? Do you think your cousin was a gimmick?
It's funny because she was in my mind too, and she definitely sold the gimmick. And part of her gimmick was the way she sang. She kind of gave you an innocence of earthy type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, but she wasn't innocent, and I'm not even really sure she was earthy. Not really sure. Macy.
Let the chat know who your cousin is, bro.
Huh?
The chat know who we talking about.
We're talking about Macy Gray. And he said it's my cousin because it is my cousin. Yeah, my cousin Natalie McIntyre. That's a government name. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, she definitely she sold that image. She sold it well. But you also have to remember that she was heavily into the hip hop scene, like, doing songs with like Pharoah Monch and Mos Def and all that kind of shit. So they had a lot going on in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, she definitely had an image, and I think that she definitely had a gimmick going on. And I think as she got older and she got clean, because she was, she used to get high a lot during those early years. And once she got clean, her music got a little bit cleaner, but I think it still remained very good because I consider her to be very soulful. But Macy Gray ain't for everybody. And but that's not who I picked. So I'm going to go, let's see, I think Eric Badu. I guess I'm going to go with Kanye motherfucking West. Mr. West. Now,
Kanye, are you going with Kanye or Yeezy?
Like I said, we talking about gimmicks, right? So we got a lot to talk about with Mr. West. You know what I'm saying? His original gimmick was the whole, the intelligent, college dropout shit. And he sold it. He sold it well. The producer who was a rapper. He sold it well. And he sold a sort of intelligence and innocence. He sold it well. We saw his evolution. He took us to waters uncharted. The whole Nazi shit, anti-black shit, White Lives Matter shit. Now he's talking about his brain injury from the accident, which I've said for 20 years. That's what's really wrong with him. Everybody kept saying, when his mom died, I said, nah, a lot of people, moms have passed and all of them have gotten over it. I'm telling you, he suffered a brain injury. He almost died from that car crash. And that shit has long-term damage that you will start to see as he gets older. And now he's coming out saying, yeah, because it messed up my frontal lobe, and that was responsible for my bipolar, and that's why I have to apologize to the Jews, and I love Jewish people. I'm like, this motherfucker he's worse than he's horrible. But then you got the Yeezy, the whole Yeezy thing, and so he has a gimmick every time he comes out with an album. And one thing I wonder about that nobody's going to ask him, like, okay, so you said all of that shit about Jews, right? But you said it was the truth. So does your bipolar, are you apologizing for what you said or for what you meant? That's what nobody's going to ask him. Because what you were saying had some validity to it. Some. Your passion had no validity to it, but the facts that you put forth had some validity. But so does your bipolarism, does it negate the truth in what you told or what you said? Or is it, no, not only should I not have said it, I shouldn't have said it because it wasn't true. I'm not sure if I'm buying it, but he ain't been able to sell me nothing since before 2010. I've been through with him. I kept telling everybody, I'm telling this dude ain't, he not that dude. But yeah, you can't tell nobody nothing about their favorite artist. Nicole said, everybody is different when a mother dies. That's true. But everybody realizes that they have to go on. He never used his mother's death as an excuse or a reason for his behavior. All of his fans said that shit. He never said that. I'm not crediting him for using his mom as an excuse. All of his fans. So whenever he says some fuck shit, whenever he did some bullshit, they say it's because his mom died. And I'm like, motherfucker, he got a mouth. He don't have no problem speaking for himself. Well, just take his own words for it. Stop speaking for it. They do the same thing with Tupac. They do the same thing with Donald Trump. I'm telling you, it's a Gemini thing. You know, Geminis don't have to speak for themselves. Their fans speak for them. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, this is why he did it. That ain't what he said why he did it. Now, I'm telling you. Fuck out of here. Fuck Yeezy. But yes, he definitely had to get it. Yo, he can never be all right with me again. Fuck him. I threw him away. He's in the garbage. I don't give a fuck that the garbage men didn't take him away. He ain't getting back in his house. He gonna have to ride outside. I'm good.
Well, Yeezy Peasy.
Yeah, man. It's
That's how I feel about it.
JJ says, I'm not sure you get over the loss of your parents. It's not about getting over something and getting through something. Listen, I'm as familiar with death as anybody else. I've seen people killed within somewhere between 3 and 6 feet of myself. You know what I mean? People shot, stabbed, killed from a distance, car accidents, freak accidents. I discovered 3 people close to me's bodies, all that shit. I know death, but I know this. I can't get in the casket with them. They've gone to where they have gone, and they're free now. They're free of pain. They're free of worry and all of that. We're still here. And I'm not telling anybody not to be emotional over the loss of life. But the loss of life is the guarantee that we all have. The best thing we can do is prepare ourselves for it and try to move forward, because somebody's going to be crying over us one day. But we can't get in the casket with them before we are prepared. So we have to honor their spirit. We have to honor their soul, because they don't want to see us here crying over them. So we need to at least do ourselves the favor of doing the best that we can in their absence. Even if the best that we can do is treat them like they're still here. Talk to them. Let them advise you. Let them guide you. Let them protect you. Let them lead you. Let them love you. Let them cover you. You got to do it. You got to do it, because death is the one thing that you can't reverse. Ain't nothing. That's why it's so confusing. What do you mean you can't fix this shit? We can't go back in time, and we can't flip them from death to alive. We can flip them from alive to dead, but we can't flip it back. So we have to find a way to go on. We have to. I miss my dad every day. He comes in my dreams, and he's alive in my dreams, even though in my dreams I know he's dead. But in my dreams, I accept him as alive for that moment. Consciously in my dreams. It's the weirdest shit. My dad, my stepdad, my best friend who passed, I believe I had one dream about him. I think he's only come back to see me once. But my dad and my stepdad, they stay dropping by. But that's how I know they're there. And it comforts me that they come and get me. At least they ain't trying to take me back with them. They ain't trying to get me closer or push up my due date to go where they are. They let me know I got to do work. I got to do here. I got to do what I got to do here. I'm not finished. Their job was finished. We may not have liked the fact that it was finished, but we have to accept it. We have to. Because ain't shit we can do. So but if you want to cry every day over it, fine, that's fine. But let the tears that you cry cleanse you. Don't let it cripple you. Don't let it scare you. Don't let it immobilize you. Cause you ain't doing yourself no good. And you're almost good. You're almost as bad as it. I don't want to sound sensitive, y'all. But you're almost making yourself or putting yourself in the funeral home, in the casket, in the ground, while you still here. People here need you. And your ancestors, who is anybody who has passed before you, even if they were younger than you, they have become your ancestors because they're the angels now. So regardless of how young they were, even if they were a stillborn baby, they became your angel, and they are looking over you, guiding you, protecting you, and showing you the way. Let them do it. Don't let them down by seeing you down. Let them lift you up. Let them help you. They helped you when they was here. Let them help you while they gone. They got the power of the spirit. You ain't got that yet. You know, I'm just saying. Let's do the poll question, do the birthday shout outs, get the fuck on up out of here.
Well, you know, it was good to hear.
No, don't start your shit, Troy. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear all that preacher shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear all that shit. You know what I mean? I already covered that. Let's do the goddamn votes. You know what I mean? Get the fuck on up out of here. You always try to do this cleanup. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what? Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Fuck all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't feel like being I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I had to take a 10-minute nap before I started this show. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. JJ talking about some easy on the Geminis. Yo, man, y'all be fucking shit up, man. Y'all be fucking shit up.
That was beautiful soliloquy, but you the one that took it all down.
Listen, man. Listen. Pain does something. When I see people suffering when they don't need to, it hurts me. It does. And I feel compelled to help them, help them in any way that I can. But what I can't do is I can't control sorrow. I can't control depression, but I could sure show you how to battle them. I can do that because it's crippling. It is. And I don't like to see people stagnant. I don't. You got to fight back. You gotta fight back. And I don't mean that in no fiery way, but we battle every day. We battle fear, we battle health, we battle pain, we battle sorrow, we battle people who are rude, disingenuous, fake, you know what I mean? Deceptive. We battle every day. And we try to strategize ways for us to win. Well, why don't we strategize ways for us to feel better every day? Man, if I had a fucking nickel for everybody I know who lost their mom, lost their dad, lost their kids, lost their grandparents, lost their friends, and every year, right around the time of that person's death, they getting nervous, they getting scared, they getting anxious and shit because they letting themselves die every year. They are reliving the anxiety of that person's death every year. That shit is horrible. For the rest of your life, you are dying with the person that died. You think they want you to do that? They didn't die for you to, man, I don't want to get religious. They say Jesus died for our sins. You ain't got to do it. He did it. He did it so you won't have to do it. And that's whether you're a Christian or not. That's whether you're a believer or not. You take a look at the story. So If you're going to celebrate their birthday. Do something around on their birthday that they like to do. If your mom like to go shopping, go shopping. Take your ass to Walmart. Take your ass to Target. Whatever store they used to like to go to, go and celebrate them. Go shopping with them. My dad used to like to gamble. So on his birthday, which will be February 21st, I go to the casino, play a few rounds of blackjack, hit the crap table, win or lose. Hey, when he was alive, we went to the casino together sometimes. We would gamble. He taught me how to play craps when I was 7 or 8 years old. My mom built a crap table in the crib. Shit was fly. I used to be breaking them niggas with chips. So that's one of the things we used to enjoy. So when his birthday comes around, I look forward to it. I ain't all, but he died on July 11th. On July 5th or 6th or 10th, I'm not like, I'm not dying with my dad every day. He didn't live his life that way. He didn't live his life that way. And he would not like to see me sad and lamenting over him. He don't want that. And your people don't want you doing that either. I can guarantee, without knowing them, I know they don't want that. I know they don't want that. They became a spirit, and a spirit doesn't have a body. And so, whether you believe in heaven or hell and all of that shit, a spirit doesn't have any body. And a body has nerves. A spirit don't have no body. So a spirit don't have no nerves. So they're not burning in eternity, in hell for all eternity. That's a physical thing. That all of those things were used to scare us into doing things here on earth. Okay, it worked. But you leave your body here. Your spirit goes wherever it goes. So it ain't no land of milk and honey. It has to be a different kind of heaven that we don't know nothing about. But they talking about milk and honey and streets paved with gold. I don't want no part of no heaven that has the same shit I was hoping for on earth. The fuck out of here. Streets paved with gold. Why would gold have any value in the afterlife? Nigga, you crazy. All right. So let's go to the poll question. Wasting too much time. All right. So the poll question is, why do the artists that start out with a gimmick switch to an ordinary persona after a while? 50% said the gimmick gets old after a while. I think 50% is probably correct. All right, 12% said they never wanted to do the gimmick in the first place. Plenty of record companies and they push the gimmick, and sometimes it works. If it wasn't for like A&Rs like Puffy, the whole Biggie, the whole Mary J. Blige, Queen of Soul, the whole Jodeci, looking like street dudes, rappers and all that shit, that wouldn't have happened. That wasn't what they chose for themselves. They were chosen those images were chosen for them. Sometimes it works. Okay. 31% said they did it for attention at first. Sounds right. And a mere 6% said they were on drugs when they did it. I think in the case of like a DMX, I think he's definitely part of that. Being on drugs at the time he entered the industry definitely had an influence on his behavior. It worked. But you see, as he became able to afford more and more drugs, you see what you see what happened. It was more than a minor miracle that DMX was able to make it to 50 years old. Out of all the artists that passed before him, I never would have thought that he would have lasted all the way up to 50 years old. It's pretty spectacular when you think about it. When you think about how he lived his life. Kind of crazy. Thanks everybody for participating in the poll question. All right, we're gonna do these birthday shout outs. Listen, Kim and Troy, I really appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all know y'all my people. Y'all my day ones.
Responsibility. It's you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't. Oh my God.
Hey, same. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow.
So, bye, Troy, and the song was nice too.
What you mean you won't be here
Thank
tomorrow?
you very much.
In what
Joy. I
in what
appreciate
sense?
that.
Wait for the next one.
Wait, what? In what sense, Kim?
I have it Friday.
In what sense won't you be here tomorrow?
Everybody, I'm going to say stay safe, and I'm going to say stay safe to myself, because tomorrow we have guests here. I don't know
Okay.
if guest is the right word, but I'm trying to be politically correct tonight or this morning. I'm going to save all my cuss words for later today.
Cool.
But we have people in my city who will be in my neighborhood. And I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. So that's it.
I don't know where this road is gonna lead to.
I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know what it's gonna be. I just plan to go out and support my neighborhood, support my state.
Oh, well, I wish you a good luck and fortune, Kim. Good luck and good fortune.
Most definitely.
All right. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious January 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Layla Oliver. Happy birthday. And also Amazon Kizzy Gibson, Kate Lunger, Lawan's Blackman, Ronnie Carter, Hashim Murphy, my man Hashim, and Erica Howard, my girl Erica, Sean Purnell, and last but not least, my girl Karen Adams. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious January 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, they all got a gimmick. They all got a gimmick. They all got a gimmick, and I guess they all have the lyrics that go to it, and they going to get in it. They was in it to win it. They was with it to get it. They going to do it in a minute, and I say they spin it. Run it back. Sometimes it played out. Nothing lasts forever, but they still together as a group, or maybe they're artists. They still trying to get paid, and they should shade. Sometimes get thrown around, but I'm still glad that they had the good sounds that make us want to break and pound. Yo, I'm going to go see that artist when they come in town. Y'all got me a ticket for me, ticket for you. Yo, guess what we going to do? We going to buy some tickets and paraphernalia too, or when they come on through. So I want to say peace to all of y'all who passed and all of y'all that's still in it and built the last just like a Tonka truck, maybe a Ford truck. But I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm bored, yup. And when I get bored of popping the tape, and I'll be thinking about how I did back and still escape all the stress that I feel on a daily basis and see them looks kind of on my kids' faces and be like, yo, your daddy gonna still keep riding for you because you know how we do. And I say that I'm never going to sue just because things don't go my way, because I don't play that kind of game. Yo, it's still the same. Yo, I see people out here struggling, and it's really a shame. We all got our struggles. Sometimes it's professional, sometimes it's personal, but I got to go to rehearsing, yo. And I'll be rehearsing the best way to be. And I'm going to make sure that when you're testing me, that I'm going to pass it. I'm acing, maybe the plus. I got some extra credit. We gotta get this edit. Everything is going to be all right. I said, everything is going to be all right. I said, everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Hold your head, kid. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Take your time now. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Calm yourself down. Everything is going to be all right. Yo, believe what I'm saying. That's right now. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 p.m. You know what? No. We've been doing good at 2 o'clock. So let's say 2 o'clock. Forget that 1:30 shit. We'll be here at 2 o'clock. We do it. We'll be here at 2 o'clock. Let's do it. We'll be here at 2 o'clock, and everything be all right. That way, I can get a little rest because I need it. Y'all can get a little rest if y'all come back for the Urban Therapy with Sun show, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on through. We're gonna be talking about some good shit tomorrow. I mean, real good. Matter of fact, let me see. What's the topic gonna be like? You come through, you hear this old good shit. Hold on. Okay. Well, what do I have planned for you? What I have planned for you, my people? Oh. Now I don't like these topics. I'm gonna think of something fresh. But come here 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Urban Therapy with Sun show this afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Love is love, y'all. I appreciate y'all all. Peace.